Hi, performers and achievers. Welcome to Performers and Achievers Daily with me, Gavurla. This is an exciting time of year, as throughout the year, it's an exciting time of year. And as you all know, and my customers or clients know, I always have something to look forward to each day. So last night, one of the things that I wasn't aware about actually, however, I did become aware of it, and I watched the highlights as I didn't have it scheduled into my success checklist. So I watched the highlights. As many of you know, I think it's either in June or July. The World Cup is coming to the US, Canada, and South America. And yesterday, the USA men's national team played Portugal. The USA men's national team, from the highlights that I watched, I did not watch the whole match, is very capable of playing with any team from any country. Because this is what I saw. And of course, everyone watches and has their reflection on the match. I also watched the coach's post-game interview of the match. And what I saw was the U.S. played good offense. There were good tries, or good shot, good. There were good tries shooting the ball by the USA men. And like most matches, it comes down to a few plays. And in this specific case or match, it were the two plays that Portugal scored on. And so naturally, one of the things is to reflect on that. And there's an infinite number of reasons, possibly, why what happened. It's simple, it's not easy. And without me using my expertise and talking with the coach or coaches and players, is not something that I can really have any input into, besides the following. If you watched the highlights or the match, you saw that Portugal scored. First goal looks like player was marked, and then he heeled it back, and the other Portugal player was not marked, and he shot the goal in. And so in soccer, that is called tracking or marking your player. And in soccer, at least the way that I have been playing soccer, and as I continue to apply practical learning and practical research, the forwards are the last line of defense, not the goalkeeper. And so, as I was watching that, the back line was pretty much trying to keep shape. However, I didn't see a midfielder to come back or a forward to come back to be able to see the marking, see the formation of the opponent, and then be able to read the play, see the play as it's developing, and be able to mark the opponent so that he's not left open. And so that's one of the things to look at. The other one is on the set piece, similar. The U.S. had 9 players in the box, and 2 players were not covered near the 18. And either someone who's in the box covers each one of those, or marks each one of those, or tracks each one of those, or the forward, because they can view the whole pitch from where they are, who's not in the box, who's probably around midfield, goalkeeper's in the goal. After seeing that or watching the play as it's about to develop and proceed, runs up to mark one of those 2 players. Now, some coaches, they play a zone. However, as far as the way that I've learned to play and watching soccer, that's the approach that I would take. However, that's a little more on the tactical side, which, being a soccer player and a soccer official, I know some about that. However, there's a reason for coaches. And what I do know, though, is that regardless of that, the real issue is professional communication, leadership, support system, teamwork, standards of excellence. As I watched the highlights, I saw a lot of positives. The offense played good. I'm aware there wasn't a goal scored. However, they had good opportunities, good chances, good tries, shots. And then, besides those 2 plays, USA is very capable of playing with or against Portugal. And so, as a mental performance coach, and I want to be clear and for you to keep in mind, I really wouldn't be able to advise without actually talking to the coaches, and or players. Because again, it could be actually an infinite number of things. Tactically, it looks as if it's that simple. However, as we know, not only is there the tactical side of star soccer or the strategy or what they call the technical or clinical technical, there's the mental strategies or mental skills. And as a mental performance coach, that's something that I help and support the players with. And so, at least my outlook is it was a positive match against one of the top five, I think, the top 10 teams in the world. And the USA was very capable. They showed prevention, longevity, athleticism, strength and conditioning. It was those two plays as I watched. And so somewhere along there, only thing that I could really interject as a mental performance coach is the issue is in one or more of these areas: professional communication, leadership, support system, teamwork, standards of excellence. And I will put the video, the highlights of the match in the show notes. However, it's a good tune-up as they select the final roster to participate in the World Cup. Respect and honor soccer, and have sportsmanship. And that's just a matter of playing good soccer, play good defense, and play good offense, play good defense. And the probability of winning the soccer match is pretty good. And of course, there's a lot that's involved in that. And again, that's where the coaches are there and the players are there. However, as a mental performance coach, that is at least my reflection on the match. And again, I only watched the highlights. And so I look at it as a very positive event for them. Very positive match for them. There's so many positives I see there. I see it as a very positive, practical learning experience for them to apply to the next match, and then eventually to the actual World Cup matches. So that's what I have for you today. And I'm really looking forward to the World Cup. I'm pretty sure that the previous time that it was in the USA was in '94. I went to some of the matches then. I don't think it's been in the US since then. And I wish that if you are a soccer fan, that you are able to somehow enjoy and fun and experience watching or attending or participating, wherever you may be. And if you don't really watch soccer, then you might want to tune in, as this will be one of the premier events, sporting events, that involves all the countries that qualify for the World Cup. If you like my podcast, like it. For those of you who are interested in my private, personal, professional, confidential programs and services, visit my website, rajgavurla.com. Fill out the brief form, and we will contact you as soon as we can. Enjoy your day.